Hi, and welcome to another episode of Studies, or maybe the first vlog I'm doing in here, if you want to call it that way. As some of you know, I recently moved, and now that the new space is as finished as it gets for now, I thought, why not do a little studio tour and show you what I've been up to lately. So, this space has two different purposes. For once, it's my workspace for the job I have, and on the other side, it's my hobby room where I play guitar, record videos, play games and such. So let's show you around and have a look at some of my stuff.
It probably makes a bit more sense to give this video a bit of structure, so let's talk guitars first, followed by my amps, the pedals, and then the things that really define my workflow. That beautiful sideboard behind me and the desk with the computer. The guitar you all probably know the best is my codex from Codex Audio, formerly known as Ground FX. I've done a video showcase for it, and even after a month of owning it, I still admire the looks and the sounds from that one. Next up is the oldest guitar I have in my room, my custom-built Telecaster with an olive aluminium neck. Equipped with Reverb pickups, it was the guitar back when I was playing with a band. This one is my Dunwell Cyclops from the DE series. It was from the first batch they did, and it's nothing but amazing for the money. Currently tuned to drop B, this is my guitar for post-metal or anything else that needs lower tuning. Coming last, this is another guitar that's far from being stock. It started its life as a Squier 40th anniversary Jazzmaster, but I then installed a full mastery kit, a Robert Graves aluminium neck, and the new Cunifex right range humbuckers. It now really is a great guitar. Let's start talking amps with talking about cabs. Right in the center of my studio is this Black Horse Cabinet's oversized 2x12 loaded with Weber Grey Wolves and Silver Wolves. I have another one of those staying at my parents' house for when I'll be playing in a band again, and those are by far the best sounding cabs I own. On top of this one is my favorite amp at the moment, the Müller Classic. It's an incredibly hard to find Marshall style amp that puts the Plexi and JCM 800 in one head. The others are a bit more known, so let's start top to bottom from the shelf. A Sun Beta Lead, a Hiwatt Custom 100, the Modern T, that's a replica of the first generation Sun Model T with a few twists, the Sun Model T reissue by Fender, and an absolute classic, a 1985 Marshall JCM 800. Now let's come to the one that probably interests everyone the most, the pedals. Over here I have my pedal board for when I just play around for myself. This one kinda deserves a whole video on its own, so when I finally get to know it a bit better and saved a few sounds in the Morningstar, I will maybe do one of those. Other than that, the rest of my pedals stay in this IKEA shelf. Back in the old room I had them displayed on the wall on this Moslander picture ledges, but this didn't seem appropriate for the new space, and my collection got a bit out of hand, so it's way more practical. It also keeps out most of the dust, so that's a nice benefit as well. Showing every pedal on its own would probably take half an hour, so let's just quickly fly over them and come to the next chapter of my room. This sideboard is not only the most beautiful piece of furniture in this space, it also features the most important gear for recording my music and videos besides the desk with the computer. On the left there's the charging station for all my electronical devices like camera, laptop, lights, etc. Next to it is my old tape deck that I used for the Tape Fuzz video, which is still one of my favorite videos I've did so far. On the right side there's the Universal Audio aux box, which is the single most important item next to the audio interface and the computer. I simply would not be able to record my amps in here without it. Also, this little Victory Kraken on top is definitely a really good amp for its size. Below all that is where I store the rest of my video gear, like my vintage lenses, an analog film camera and a few pairs of headphones, and on the other side it's simply a mess of stuff for work. This is my workspace. It's a heat adjustable standing desk and an Herman Miller Aeron, so I can work or edit videos for hours and hours. I have 2 really crappy monitors on a stand, and I'd really love to replace those with something that has at least some kind of color accuracy. Other than that, there's the Universal Audio Apollo Twin X and the Shure SM7B I'm talking into right now. Also one of my most precious belongings in here, this little cute guy that a former student of mine gave me after finishing school. Next to all of that is the Palmer da Capo reamp box that allows me to reamp my amps and the effects for all my videos.
Now that we're doing behind the scenes stuff, why not talk you through the process of shooting my videos? The first thing is kind of the question on what pedal will I feature this video. For example, if I know it's going to be a delay pedal like this Codex Audio one, I want to write a song that has some space in it, that lets the repeats and the modulation really shine. So then I pick a guitar like this one here, which unfortunately is just on long, but it's a really beautiful guitar. And then I just toy around to find some melodies, something with space that lets the repeats really shine. And then I record that directly into the computer, going straight into the Apollo interface in Cubase, and record the additional parts to it, layer some drums from plugins, and play in the bass, so that I have the whole song structured and kinda a finished project, just with raw DI guitars. I then use my Palmer da Capo reamp box to go through the pedals, sometimes combinations of pedals, maybe just one pedal going into one of my amps over there, directly into the aux box, which is going back into the interface. So now you know the space where I spend most of my time in, but there's one additional thing I want to show you. Back when I moved in, I noticed some of the rooms, especially the big living room, had some really nice echo to it. And I saw some videos on YouTube where guys recorded some claps and made reverb IRs out of it. So that's what I did, and that's what I want to show you on the computer. So come with me. Let's jump into Cubase to see what I did to those files and listen to some sounds. So in Cubase, you can just drag your files in and have some claps like this ones. And all you have to do is just use your cut tool, cut right in front of it, give it some tail, cut right after it. And once you've exported those files, you can load them into your convolution reverb. I use Reverb with this in Cubase, but there are also some other alternatives out there. You can import those. As you can see here, I did a few more. I recorded the studio, which is the room we are currently in. And I did also the living room and the living room from the hallway, which is a bit different in sound. It has more oomph to it. And just for fun, I did some processing to it and added some distortion and pitch shifting. So once you've loaded those in, you can just listen to it. This is the Studiospace right now. Going to the living room and the hallway. I really like the distorted ones for drums. They just add some little grit and character to the drum room. that's all. I'm gonna upload those files to Bandcamp, so feel free to use them for your music. If you release something, please tag me. I'm really interested in how you like them and what you can do with it. Other than that, this is probably everything, so see you in the next one. Bye.